Let's do a quick 11-minute stretch. So I like to just start out by laying flat on the ground or my mat, reaching my hands above my head and pointing my toes straight out from my legs. I also like to do with my hands at my side, breathing deep and relaxing into my mat. You may see a few cuts in this video as I edit out my dog and family interrupting me. Why I chose to film this at bedtime, I will never know. Deep breaths. Try to take stock of how your body feels now. We're moving into the leg stretches. I'm pulling my knee towards my chest, doing my best to keep it aligned with the natural position of my leg. As you breathe, try to gently pull your knee closer and closer to your chest until you're comfortable with that. And then you can move your knee towards the center of your chest. So this will be a bit more of a diagonal angle for your thigh. And you'll feel this more towards the outside of your hip and quad. There you see me tilt it. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, exhale, continuing to try and sink the stretch a little deeper with each breath. As you release the stretch, I'd like you to take note of the difference between your two legs. Before we move on to our other leg, hold these stretches for as long as you feel they're helping or as long as you can tolerate them. I'd like to remind you that stretching should not be painful. However, if your muscles are stiff and sore, you may experience discomfort bordering to pain in your muscles while stretching. This should almost feel like, oh yeah, that's good. That's going to feel good when I release this stretch. As you see, we moved on to my other leg. I will often do both the bent knee stretch and this next stretch together on one leg before moving on to the next. However, we got distracted, and so we will just make sure to go back to it. Extend our legs straight upwards, and I realize you cannot see my foot, but you're going to do pointed toes and flex toes. I also like to do some ankle rolls while I'm here. So literally just rolling your ankle in each direction a few times. You may have noticed I bent my knee there. Sometimes I feel tension building up in them and I just need to flex it and go back out to straight. Don't forget to do our other leg. You should feel this in the back of your thigh, calf, foot, all those good things. This is just a reminder to breathe, and in this stretch we are pointing our toes towards the ceiling and then flexing our foot, alternating between that and rolling our ankles. All right, release that, and you can just enjoy feeling how your legs feel now before we move into our next stretch. For this next one, you're basically going to hold your knees, tucking them into your chest, pulling them close to you, and when they're out, you see them 90 degrees, you are kind of stretching and pulling against your arms with your back flat against the ground. We're going to now tuck our knees into our chest, tugging them close and then rolling from side to side. Just kind of pressing my back into the mat and just kind of massaging it almost. Kind of like a foam roll. Up next will be a bit of a hip opener. You're going to pull your feet up towards your bottom, putting the heels of them together, allowing your knees to spread out to the side, feeling the stretch in the obvious place, and just allowing your knees to sink as far as they can comfortably as you breathe through the stretch, trying to allow gravity to push them open ever so slightly with each breath. Again, you can hold any of these stretches for shorter or longer, depending how you are feeling. I obviously spent a bit of time here this day as we're still lying here. Maybe I zoned out. Yeah, I think I definitely zoned out. But my favorite stretch is up next. You're going to take your arm, laying it flat along the ground, perpendicular to your body with your palm facing upwards. You're going to look towards your fingers. The knee on the same side stays bent and your other leg goes out straight. You're going to use your opposite arm to grab your knee and pull across your body, twisting. You really want to try to keep your hand on the ground, your arm on the ground, and sink as deep into that while you're there as you can. This almost always gets me a nice crack in my back and just feels so amazing. It releases so much tension. Yeah, here comes a toddler. I apologize for the background noise, but I want you to hear this crack. Oh, that crack though.
Oh, the crack.
That's all what it's all about. You should do this pose looking at me now. Yeah. This is the one I was telling about the other day. You're not looking at me, you're looking at your phone.
Oh, I've done that before. I do it in bed like every night.
In bed? No, you gotta do it on the ground. Yeah. It's way better on the yoga mat.
No, the bed too, because the heat, the way a blanket helps me like pull my body in place.
Alright, I'll give you that. I'd include just a little friendly banter there. And my husband tips on how he does that stretch. Once again, I'm just going back to neutral and feeling how things feel now. Checking in with my body before we move on to the next stretch. Now, coming up to a seated position, we are going to just stretch towards those toes, folding and reaching as far as we can. Again, as you breathe through the stretch, try to reach a little bit farther each time or press a little bit farther into the stretch if you can. If not, just do what you can. All right, I'm going to just do a couple spinal twists here. Now we're going to do very similar to what we did laying down, where we're putting the soles of our feet together, using my hands to brace, opening those knees, pressing them towards the ground, and just really sitting up as straight as possible here. Try to make sure your back is not hunching, your shoulders not hunching forward, and that your back is staying straight. All right, now we're going to leave one leg bent, straighten the other, stretch towards those toes, pulling them in. We're going to switch and do the same thing on the other side. It's not uncommon for me to feel this in my legs, but as well as in my back on the almost opposite side of which leg I'm stretching. So don't be afraid if you feel a bit of a stretch there. I'm just going to do a twist here. Just kind of pressing and switching from side to side. I have obviously rearranged and we are sitting cross-legged, tucking my chin towards my chest. Keep my back straight, shoulders back, and then tilting my head back, letting it rest as far as possible. Next, I'm going to put my hand behind my back, placing it on my lower back, tilting my head away from that shoulder. I'm gonna hold this. Sometimes I'll just kind of rock it a little, feeling that stretch, and obviously we're going to do the same on the other side. Just remember to keep your back straight, shoulders up and back. Take the time to adjust if you need to. I'm just now stretching to each side, feeling that neck. I have neck stiffness and soreness, so I spend a bit of time here on neck stretches. Obviously, I get interrupted by the dog, and I believe we're going to start to move into neck rolls. Yeah, so I'm just going to roll side to side, and I might go around the shoulder. I might go back and forth a couple times. Again, try to keep your body still, which I'm not doing a great job of here. I think I was really getting into it. Yeah, see, I caught myself and straightened up. Change directions. You don't need to do these if you don't want to. Must feel good there because I really did. Now we grab our hands and we're stretching behind the back. Pulling that, straightening, looking upwards, across an arm and pull. Must have felt something because I made a face. Above the head, just stretching straight up. And that's it.